Anfield Central. This is where Liverpool news breaks first. And tonight, things just got intense. An ex-Premier League referee has now explained why VAR was right in the Man City versus Liverpool controversy. And Liverpool's next 5 fixtures have been compared directly with Manchester United and Chelsea as the Champions League race heats up. But that's only the surface of this story. Behind the chaos at Anfield, there are injury updates that could change Liverpool's next game, including a possible return that fans have been waiting for. There's also an exclusive verdict from Michael Owen, pointing to one moment against City that may have cost Arne Slot far more than just 3 points. And quietly, a new Liverpool signing has suffered a setback that raises uncomfortable questions already. This defeat might be over, but the consequences are just beginning. If you want every twist, every update, and the truth behind the noise, make sure you subscribe to Anfield Central, because this story is far from finished. Ex-Premier League referee explains why VAR was right to disallow Man City goal and send off Szoboszlai. Craig Pawson and VAR found themselves at the centre of a storm as Manchester City's dramatic late goal was ruled out and Dominik Szoboszlai was sent off during Liverpool's 2-1 defeat at Anfield. While the decision sparked widespread backlash, former Premier League referee Mark Halsey has insisted the officials had no alternative under the laws of the game. The chaos unfolded deep into stoppage time after late goals from Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland had swung the match City's way. With Liverpool chasing an equaliser, Alisson went up for a corner, leaving the goal unguarded as City broke forward on the counter. Rayan Cherki's long-range effort slowly rolled toward the empty net, but the moment turned messy. Szoboszlai pulled Haaland back to stop him reaching the ball. Haaland reacted, and both players lost their footing just before the ball crossed the line. Initially, Craig Pawson allowed the goal to stand, appearing to play advantage. However, VAR advised a review, and after re-watching the incident, Pawson overturned the goal and showed Szoboszlai a red card for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Mark Halsey later explained why that outcome was unavoidable. Writing in The Sun, he said Pawson was right to wait and assess whether Haaland could still reach the ball before VAR correctly directed attention back to the first offence that stopped a clear chance. Halsey stressed that no advantage had been signalled and that Haaland's pull on Szoboszlai prevented the Liverpool midfielder from clearing the ball. In his view, once VAR intervened, the referee had no option but to disallow the goal and issue the red card in line with the laws. Despite that explanation, criticism has been fierce. Sky Sports pundit Gary Neville called the decision a killjoy, saying VAR had robbed fans of what could have been one of the moments of the season. Even Haaland admitted he felt sympathy for Szoboszlai, acknowledging the harsh consequences of the ruling. Speaking after the match, he said he understood the referee had to follow the rules, but felt the situation might have been resolved more simply by allowing the goal. For Liverpool, the incident summed up a frustrating and controversial end to the night. The defeat was confirmed, the red card added further damage, and debate around VAR's role in decisive moments shows no sign of fading. Liverpool's push for a Champions League place has taken another hit, with defeat against Manchester City leaving the Reds trailing Manchester United and Chelsea in the table. With just 13 Premier League games remaining, the margin for error is shrinking fast. Gary Neville believes Liverpool can still finish in the Champions League places, but admits the pressure is now real. Speaking on Sky Sports, he said the City defeat would be a tough one to take for Arne Slot and his players, especially given the way the game unfolded. Neville described the match as something close to a freak result and stressed the importance of Liverpool mentally resetting. He questioned whether the squad is strong enough right now to cope with games every 3 days, particularly when difficult fixtures don't go their way. Despite the setback, Neville pointed out that Liverpool are only 5 points off the top 4 or 5. He highlighted that the Reds still have to play many of the teams above them, meaning there are opportunities to close the gap if results start to turn. He also reflected on the City performance itself, noting that Liverpool were not good enough in the first half but still kept a clean sheet. In the second half, he felt they dominated, took the lead and should have seen the game out. Looking ahead, Liverpool's upcoming fixture list offers a chance to recover lost ground. The Reds face Sunderland away, Nottingham Forest away, West Ham at home, Wolves away, and Tottenham at Anfield in their next 5 league matches. The view is that there are several winnable games in that run. In normal circumstances, 5 wins would be the expectation, but given current form, 3 or 4 victories would already feel like a positive return. Manchester United, meanwhile, hold a key advantage as they are no longer involved in European competition or domestic cups. Their next 5 matches include West Ham and Everton away, Crystal Palace at home, followed by trips to Newcastle and a home clash with Aston Villa. That run is seen as starting relatively kindly before becoming tougher, and while United are expected to pick up points, there are still doubts about whether their current momentum is sustainable if results start to wobble. Chelsea also remain firmly in the mix and are considered the most catchable of the sides above Liverpool. They face Leeds and Burnley at home next before more demanding away trips to Arsenal and Aston Villa, followed by Newcastle at Stamford Bridge. For now, Manchester United and Chelsea sit in the driving seat, but the race is far from over. Liverpool's fate may well be decided by how they respond in this next stretch of fixtures. Injury latest. Joe Gomez update, Szoboszlai suspended as Slot faces Sunderland headache. Liverpool head into their midweek trip to Sunderland with fresh selection problems, as Dominik Szoboszlai serves a suspension and several defensive options remain unavailable. Arne Slot is once again forced into difficult decisions at a crucial stage of the season. Szoboszlai's red card against Manchester City rules him out, leaving Liverpool short in a role he had been performing strongly in. His absence only adds to the growing concern around the right-back area. Joe Gomez remains a major doubt after limping off against Bournemouth just over 2 weeks ago. Although Slot initially suggested the injury was not serious, the defender is not expected to be fit in time for Wednesday's game. Speaking after the City defeat, Slot admitted he does not expect Gomez to return yet, while also questioning whether it would even be wise to rush him back after 3 weeks out. The Liverpool boss acknowledged that the final call will rest with him. Jeremy Frimpong is definitely ruled out, while Connor Bradley is also sidelined, further limiting Slot's options. With those absences, Wataru Endo has emerged as the most likely makeshift solution for the trip to the Stadium of Light. Calvin Ramsey is another name under consideration, as Liverpool attempt to plug gaps in a squad stretched by injuries and suspension. Slot confirmed there are alternatives, but admitted the situation is far from ideal. Away from the defensive concerns, there is still no progress in Alexander Isak's recovery from a broken leg. Giovanni Leone is also confirmed to be out for the remainder of the season, taking Liverpool's current list of unavailable players to 6. The backdrop to these issues is another painful late collapse, with goals from Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland overturning Liverpool's lead at Anfield. It is a pattern Slot believes could have been avoided. He pointed to a promising attack just before City scored the winner, with Curtis Jones breaking forward and Mohamed Salah making a run in behind. Slot felt Jones would usually find that pass, but praised Mark Guehi for a decisive interception. Slot stressed that the margins at this level are fine and that Liverpool must take the next step by not relying on a single pass or moment. He insists progress is being made, even if it is not yet reflected in the league table. With Sunderland up next, Liverpool's challenge is clear. They must manage their injury problems, cope without Szoboszlai, and find results quickly as Liverpool's defeat to Manchester City has sparked fresh concern about their Champions League hopes, and Michael Owen believes the decisive moment came after the Reds took the lead. According to the former striker, Liverpool failed to build on their momentum when it mattered most. Dominik Szoboszlai's stunning free kick in the 74th minute had Anfield believing, putting Liverpool in control against the champions. At that stage, City were under pressure, and Liverpool looked well placed to push on and secure all 3 points. Instead, the game turned late on, with Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland scoring to hand Pep Guardiola his first league win at Anfield in front of supporters. It was a crushing blow on a weekend when both Manchester United and Chelsea strengthened their position above Liverpool. Reflecting on the match, Owen described it as an incredible incredible contest but felt the momentum shifted immediately after the opener. He said Liverpool were playing particularly well in the second half and expected them to keep forcing the issue. Owen felt Liverpool dropped a few yards and allowed City back into the game, losing the attacking edge that had brought them success. While City were always going to push for an equaliser, he believed Liverpool stopped doing what had worked so well. He pointed to the psychological impact of conceding late goals this season, suggesting it can lead players to focus on protecting a lead rather than extending it. That mindset, Owen argued, goes against what Liverpool have been built on for years. For Owen, Liverpool's strength has never been sitting deep and defending. Their best form has always come from controlling the ball, pushing forward and looking for the next goal rather than trying to hold on. The result, he says, now puts significant pressure on the run-in. With teams in the 4th and 5th Champions League places in strong form, the gap is beginning to open. Liverpool now face a demanding challenge if they are to finish in the Champions League spots. As Owen puts it, it will take a serious push from here to turn the situation around.
Liverpool-bound Jeremy Jacquet suffers serious injury in his first appearance after agreement for transfer. Liverpool's plans for the future have been dealt an early concern after Jeremy Jacquet suffered a serious injury in his first appearance since agreeing a move to Anfield. The defender went down while playing for Rennes just days after his transfer to Liverpool was confirmed. Jacquet will not officially join Liverpool until July 1, with a deal worth around £60 million already agreed. Rennes were determined to keep the 20-year-old for the remainder of the season as they push for European qualification, but that plan is now in doubt. Speaking after the match, Rennes head coach Habib Beye confirmed the severity of the problem. He revealed Jacquet had injured his shoulder and admitted the situation looked serious, with further assessment needed in the coming days. According to L'Équipe, there is growing concern within Rennes that Jacquet could require surgery. At the very least, the French outlet reports he is expected to miss several weeks of action, raising questions over how much he will feature again this season. The injury came on a difficult night for Rennes, who lost 3-1 to Lens and extended their winless run to January 3. Despite sitting 6th in League One, their momentum has stalled, and Jacquet's absence could further complicate their push for Europe. Jacquet has been a key figure for Rennes this season, despite his young age. His rapid development is what convinced Liverpool to move quickly and secure his signature ahead of the summer window. When the transfer was announced, Jacquet spoke of his pride at joining Liverpool and described the club as one of the greatest institutions in world football. He also stressed his desire to finish the season strongly with Rennes, the club he calls his boyhood team. While Jacquet's issue affects Liverpool's future plans, the club is also dealing with immediate defensive problems. Dominic Szoboszlai is suspended following his red card against Manchester City, ruling him out of the midweek trip to Sunderland. Joe Gomez is not expected to return in time either, while Connor Bradley, Jeremy Frimpong and Giovanni Leone remain sidelined through injury. That leaves Liverpool stretched once again as the schedule continues to intensify. Despite those concerns, Gary Neville believes Liverpool still have enough time to secure a Champions League place. He says the challenge is mental, with the squad needing to move on quickly from setbacks.